about 50 some odd years into the future. And so I sort of wanted something that sort of constantly reminded us that this is the past in sort of the Galactica universe. And sort of saying that it's in the past, but their technology is actually more advanced than a lot of the technology that we saw in Galactica, was this interesting sort of dichotomy of old and new. And I just thought that that would be one of the hallmarks of the show.
It's also sort of a relative of that vibe in Battlestar, where you would see this incredibly advanced data system. Oh my God.
Magda. I think we have a special guest star. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Magda. Lacey's here. Hey, welcome to the panel.
Did I miss the party? Are we dancing?
Well, we're doing tequila shots. So.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'm on the job. But remember, you play 16. Right.
Yeah, you're underage. But they have the same drinking laws on
They have 18 and 19.
Okay.
Don't let this happen to you.
So, Dave, you were talking, David, one of the last times I spoke to you, you mentioned the Blade Runner heritage of the show. And you had some interesting things talking about how Blade Runner was a sort of a North Star for you, getting into Battlestar and with this. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Blade Runner and Black Hawk Down, actually, which are two completely different movies, but they're both
really
by the same director, who we should probably be sending a check to every time we air an episode of these things. I think Blade Runner,
no checks will be forthcoming to Mr.
Mr. Ike has had tequila once again. The idea of asking the question, what does it mean to be human? And upending your expectations about what the fundamental definition of that is, to the point where someone who you think maybe is human isn't, was such a nucleus of what we were always talking about with Battlestar, and continues to be with Caprica.
Yeah. Magda, for you, I mean, it's such a fascinating group of writers, the stories that they come up with, this world that they create. For you as an actor, what's it like to get those scripts and see all this unfold?
I feel so lucky. It's really hard this day and age to find really good scripts and really good writing, and I just feel like I lucked out being on the show with you guys. It's a character that I love discovering with you guys, and yeah, just going really dark places.
Yeah, I mean, Magda's character really kind of goes through probably some of the greatest evolution in terms of where she was in the first half of the season and where she goes, and ultimately where she'll continue to go in the second season is probably the most unexpected arc of any of the characters.
I like that she constantly keeps getting beaten down, and then she just kind of starts being like, I have a voice, I have strength, and I can do something, and I need to do something, and starts realizing that one person can do something.
I can't really tell you what she's going to do in the second season, but Lacey will start being called Larry, so.
Hi, Larry?
Did not see that coming.
Everything.
Didn't see that coming. So James and Sasha, as far as the show having such strong linkages to Battlestar, obviously, and Battlestar Galactica became a phenomenon and critical success. Yes? So say we all, right? What's it like to start with a new show that has that heritage, but you guys have to find your own way, and you guys find that a lot of the viewers you have now aren't former Battlestar viewers?
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised how many people I run into that have not seen Battlestar Galactica and are big fans of Caprica, and it's always really encouraging and exciting, as well as all the Battlestar fans have come over and really supported us. You know, it's an honor on one hand because it's got such a legacy, but on the other, it's also a big responsibility because people are treat their Battlestar. It's very dear to them, and they want you to do justice to this prequel. So hopefully, people are pleased with what we're doing, and yeah, so it's been really exciting to just walk into a franchise already that's there with fan base that's waiting for you.
Yeah. And I really appreciate, one of the things I like about Caprica is that it stays on the planet. Like I'm a sci-fi nut, but I have to say, like a lot of my favorite science fiction pieces, and Blade Runner definitely is one of them, stay on the planet. They don't fly off into space too much. That's for me anyway. And I think for myself, those pieces, it's easier for those kind of pieces to comment on our world, because it's a little closer to our world. I think when you go out in space, nothing against Battlestar Galactica, because it was very unlike that because it's still very human, Battlestar Galactica. But really, when you go down to the planet, it's just more recognizable, and I think that's cool.
Now, Alessandra, you were saying that in Vancouver, rainy Vancouver, that Caprica is our life. You mentioned that earlier today. I thought that was interesting. Is that a good thing? Is that a commitment? Or?
No, it was absolutely an amazing thing because, you know, we're not shooting it in Los Angeles. We're not in our homes where we're comfortable with our friends and our family. Caprica literally was our family and it was our life, and we bonded really quickly. And, I mean, we have crazy Uncle Isai, Sasha's my brother, Eric's my dad, Paula's my mom, my best friend's Magda. I mean, it really, you eat, breathe, sleep Caprica, and I hope it shows for you guys.
You know, Eric is your father, and then you told me earlier that that gives you an interesting grandmother.
So technically, because Eric Stoltz is my dad, Cher is kind of my pseudo-grandma, right?
You guys want to see her Cher impression? It's pretty awesome.
Oh! She's gonna think I'm crazy. She's gonna think I'm a loony bin.
Ron and David, one of the things about Battlestar is it had such an urgency to it. There was such a sense of peril and movement, and you know, as James mentioned, this is rooted on a planet. Coming in, that had to be something that you had to think about as a challenge and an opportunity, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, because it isn't as clear-cut. The threat is looming, and for fans of Battlestar, they know that the threat is coming, but I think in the same way that an audience will go to see Titanic or a World War II film, you know the outcome. It's really about the ironies and the unexpected twists that are involved in reaching that conclusion that upend your expectations or circumvent what you assumed. And the great, I think when we first started talking about Caprica, it was really about an opportunity to go into the interior, to really investigate character even more deeply than we could on Battlestar, where there was that very overt threat. And that's been the fun of the show. I think the challenge of it has really been to create situations and dramatic milieus that are as intense and as riveting as what we were able to do on Battlestar. And I think in the second half of season 1, you'll see that concept really kind of emerge and I think arrive in a way that makes the show every bit as much a nail-biter as Battlestar was.
Well, I have no idea what happens at the end of Titanic, but I'll take your word for it. Magda and Alessandra, you know, one of the things that Battlestar did and this show has done, is present female characters that are really compelling. They don't seem like two-dimensional characters in any way. These writers, these creators seem to be known for that. Can you talk a little bit about that? That must be a real treat for you guys.
I like that me and Alessandra, we have two really strong characters, but in two completely different ways, and the young women find their own strength at their own time in different ways.
Yeah, it's great, and I feel like, you know, we are complete opposites on the show, and I hope that, you know, maybe some people will relate to me, some people will relate to you, but they actually, towards the end, are really strong.
Yeah.
By the end of season 1.5, these girls kick ass, and I don't think you're expecting what's gonna happen. It's funny, though, that the writers are so in tune with 16-year-old girls. It's weird.
Ron, you want to take that?
Everyone here knows James Marsters, right? I'm not change the subject or anything. Long live those Bucky coattails, man.
James, for going off point for a moment, but you're going to show up on Smallville pretty soon, is that right?
Yeah!
How about that?
You're gonna come and kick my butt again. Yeah, I'm going to the 200th episode. Yeah.
Fantastic. 200, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Why do you think that show has resonated so long?
I think because Tom Welling still looks hot. I feel like he moisturizes so they can go for another 5 years, you know?
Oh, his skin, he looks young.
Yeah, he looks fabulous. I mean, that's like your basic job on television, man. You gotta be the freshest little piece of fruit that you can.
Does it make you hate him in any way? Or?
What that?
Does that make you hate him in any way?
No, not at all.
Nothing but love.
He's like smarter than you think he is. Like a lot smarter.